Hello peeps, how's everyone doing? Been a while since my last video. I've been very busy, and job-wise, I nearly, in some ways, almost got a job with UPS in their logistics section, and funny enough, it all went a little bit pear-shaped. Because when they invited me over and to this little branch over in the East London docks, where there were like loads of other people there waiting to get their pass and stuff, and we got given a set of these. Hang on, let me just see if I can find them over here somewhere. I'm just looking for them. Here's the accreditation. And where's that pass thing? Here it is. Just bring it out, Oh, you can probably hear a little ruffle in the background there somewhere. Here we go. Okie dokies. Yep, got it all now. Yep. When I got there, this is what we were given at the entrance doorway, because I was in a queue line up. This is our accreditation pocket guide. Sorry. There we go. Also in reverse, it would be another language. Here we go. Flip it up this way again. Sorry. So that. Sorry. Oh. Yep. And this is how it looks like. Pocket guide. Yep. So I'm not holding it properly. Just trying to. Here we go. This is what we were given outside before we went in. I was in a big, huge queue, but we slowly went in. There were like a couple of people there, a few G4S bouncers about, and one of the people at the door gave us this each, and kind of like tell us about the London organising community. It's a two-part card, access all other codes, blah blah blah, additional privileges, that sort of thing. But I don't feel that they really, in some ways, have. I really don't feel like that. In some ways, they really have organised this that terribly well. Because when I went because this has been arranged by the job centre, and when I went over there, it was kind of like a bit of a shambles. Because I went there with my support worker over to Holston. No, not Holston. It was Neaston Job Centre, wasn't it? Or was it Holston? I think it was Holston Job Centre. And it was a bit of a shambles because everyone was just signing without reading the small print under there, as it were. And that kind of like caused a little bit of major concern because we started asking all sorts of questions, and it was just a complete nightmare. And now, when I went over to Scotland, oh yeah, I forgot to tell you about that. Yes, I went over to Scotland and Liverpool, and I had a wonderful time. Despite the fact that manpower connected with UPS were calling me during that point. Got to see the sights of Scotland. I was on like one of the bus tours. Went all in and around the city. It was just wonderful, absolutely fabulous. Great, and got to see Edinburgh Castle. Learned about the Royal Scots. I didn't learn about the other regiments, but the Royal Scots was as far as it got for me. And my God, from Edinburgh Castle, they had such a fantastic view. Took up about the 700-800 photos on my Nikon D40. I will be posting them on Facebook and what's the other one? Yahoo, Flickr. Very soon. Until I've done a lot more post-production jobbies on them. And most importantly, I also, just got more into the history and culture of what Scotland was all about. Because kind of like suffered many wars, like the war between the English and the Scottish. How the Royal Scots participated in the First, Second World Wars, and the Napoleonic Wars, and so forth. So, Scotland's been through a lot of change, and it has just very good infrastructure, and also right now, along with the rest of the UK, is taking part in the Olympics as well. So that should be pretty cool. Should be pretty impressive, I would have thought. Oh, you probably like my new haircut. Oh, it's just a bit messed up because I've been in bed. Never to worry. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, it's just been like far out, When I got to Scotland, we stayed in like accommodation, like a hotel. I think it was called Intelligence IQ or something like that. We each got given a key, and I obviously went to Scotland with a group. With Liverpool, I went separately, with a friend, and got given a key. And it was all coded, and had such a wonderful bed, and maybe not such wonderful view, but other than that, it was very nice. I thought their bathroom was very good. Not bad, really. It's not bad at all. Other than that, after Scotland, I went all the way back down south, and then got a coach. Well, when I went all the way back from Scotland down to London via East Coast Railway, I then changed. I then changed there for the Victorian line to London Victoria, where I then got the National Express. From there all the way up to Newmarket, and during the Friday, because I went to Scotland on Friday, and then no, correction. I went to Friday during Thursday, and then came back on the during the blah 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 Friday, and then during that Friday, went to Newmarket, and after coming all the way back down from north, and then going up north again during National Express to Newmarket. And then on the Saturday, went off from Newmarket all the way up to Liverpool. It was like Newmarket Holidays. That's the company, because it was all paid and arranged. We got to see the Beatles' homeland. We got to visit Penny Lane. Got to see the sights of Liverpool. Got to see the Docklands. Plus, we went to visit lots of shops in there, saw like big shopping mall, as it were. Because they've done some brilliant regeneration with Liverpool. It really has regenerated big time, so I recommend everyone to go and see it, if you know what I mean. Yeah. Sorry, I'm rocking back and forwards. Pardon my autism, or Asperger's, as well. Occupational hazard. Yes, very good. And just do a little adjustment. There we go. And got to see Strawberry Fields. We stayed at the Holiday Inn in Warrington. It was just a couple of miles away from Liverpool. I think I'll try and get some photos of that. I took them on a separate camera, but I'll get the images available. But we stayed in a hotel. We stayed in the hotel. We had our own room with 2 big king-size beds. Very gorgeous, very massive, and a LG widescreen TV, which was very nice, supplied by Holiday Inn. Wonderful room, wonderful shower facilities. It was very good. It was very good indeed. Loved it. My best buddy didn't think the beds were that terribly great anyway. Well, hey, what's to like? It's not everyone's cup of tea, but hey, the main thing was we enjoyed it and had a ball. We just had a fantastic ball. Food was good. I would say I'll give it a 4-star rating. It was very good. Just basically had a ball, you know what I mean? And then obviously I came back on Sunday. Then I came back to my friends with my friend on Sunday, and then went home London on the National Express coach again on a Monday. Gave myself a week's notice to Manpower that I needed some downtime, so I said I'll start next week immediately. So days later, by Monday, I was going. No, correction. I told my organisation, was it the ones who are looking after me, Support for Living, and they thought this was a bit dodgy and a bit scammy like that, the G4S malarkey that you probably all heard on the news. Yeah, that's what's been going on, and my support workers thought something like this would be happening with Manpower and UPS as well, because they haven't told me where I was working, what time I'll be starting, and who in logistics I'll be working with, and how many hours, and how many per hour I was going to get paid, how many per hour I was going to get paid, and that caused all sorts of concerns. So they wrote an email to them, asked them to be pretty surprised, blah 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 blah, and they've heard no reply to them yet. And I ain't gonna start work, and I ain't starting work with them. So it's like all this has been like for nothing really, because it deals in some ways that they haven't organised me. This is what my ID looks like. I'll show it on Facebook a little bit. Hang on. Here we go. This is it. Hang on, let me just do a few adjustments. Is that right? Might get a lighting on. There we go. I'll show it this way. That's what it looks like. There we go. You see it properly? I hope you can. Just showing it for just a minute or two so you memorise it properly. What's it going to think like, oh, what was that? And I'll show you the back as well. This is the back of it. Yeah, it was pretty exciting, but now I'm stuck with it. Now it's like it's all been for nothing. Now it's like, oh, whoops, I got duped again. Though I consider other alternatives like sportsdirect.com, who are advertised on the Gumtree. I've emailed them. They send me an application form. That's brilliant. So I'll try filling a little bit of that in today. I'm not saying all of it because I'll do the rest this Friday with my support workers, so that should be good. That should be good. Yes, in case I've told you before, I did live in shared accommodation. Probably because of my Asperger's, and whatever learning disability I have. And I've been living here for like 1 or 2 years now. It's been great. It's got a fantastic view of Wembley. Honest, I kid you not, I've got a brilliant view of Wembley from here, Wembley Stadium. It's the best ever. What more can you possibly want? And plus, a beautiful garden. It has 2 apple trees, 1 pear tree. It's very good. So it's like, cool. It's all happening, man. It's all happening. It's all happening. Oh boy. And yep, we're now on the. now on the cusp of the Olympics. Like, was it starting on the 27th or what is it? I got like a. I bought myself a souvenir T-shirt. It's over here somewhere. Hang on, I'll just get it. Hang on. Here we go. Just grab it with my foot. Oops. Make sure the mic's not coming off. There we go. Here we go. This is what I bought when I went over to that place at East Docklands. This is what it looks like. Sorry, hang on, it's a bit mangled. There we go. Can you see it? Can you peeps see it properly? Hang on, I'm just trying to... There we go. Yeah, that's the one. 27th to the 12th. That's how long it's starting for. And, they're sending a lot of these souvenir T-shirts. I haven't got it washed. Well, obviously I need to get it washed. I'm not going around stinking in it. So, the opening ceremony. I don't know if the ceremony's starting. They'll do loads of rehearsals at the Olympic Stadium, and since last night, so we're probably still doing more rehearsals today. I don't know whether the opening ceremony's starting tonight or tomorrow. I think it's tomorrow, no? Because they did say the 26th one's opening, but they didn't say like, oh, it must be tomorrow night or tonight. I'll look it up. I've got the latest Time Out mag, so I'll look it up. it's just hard. Since 2005, to tell the truth, I just wished, you know, that my mother had still been alive to see it all. You know, since 2008, I know for me it's been very hard without my mum to, you know, part of me wished she was still here alive with me, just witnessing all this and being brilliant, and, you know, to be part of something special that would never happen again for a long while. I mean, the last time we had the Olympics here in the UK was that of in 1948, a year before my mother was born. Which I suppose one could say was a bit ironic, because, you know, my mum in a way did, so she was born, was it 1949, which meant she missed it a year after, and passed away a few years before it even happened. It's a shame, really, because my mum just never, you know, my mum is never gonna see it now. She's not here anymore. Yeah. What can I do, eh? What can I do? I know, it sucks, but that's life, innit? What can one do? I don't know. What can one do? Well, best thing to do is get in there and enjoy it. Enjoy it for what it's worth. Yeah, I wish it could have been more. And if you're hearing any noises, that's that the mic here is like picking up. They're doing loads of refurbishment work to the semi-detached house next door to mine. It's been driving my head in. I don't know what they're doing in there. I don't know if they're fitting a new kitchen, new conservatories, or whatever the hell they're doing to it. I hear the noise from my room constantly, all the time. It's just literally doing my bloody head in. You know what I mean? It's just constant. What can I do? It's so annoying. Seriously. Plus, summer has finally started at long last. We've finally got plenty of sunshine. Thank goodness for that. Oh, someone's just bleeped me. Hang on, let me see what they're going on about. Oh, it's just friends. Nothing to worry about. It's just the old bloom, 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 bloom. Yeah, with Facebook they always had those sorts. The latest one they've had every time you get a chat with someone or something like that, it goes bloom, you know, bloom, you know, like something with the xylophone or whatever it is, or with a guitar string. I don't know. It's pretty cool. And then other sounds are going like, where's it, like a popping song, like that's the one. You know what I mean? I don't know, why is it so many social networking and why is it so many social networking and chat sites have to add such annoying sounds? Bit much in my opinion, if you ask me. And some sounds I don't like, so no more, no. What can I do? I'm just having fun with the visual effects here. I always am. Just trying to make my videos more exciting. This is the sound of the airplane. Beautiful blue skies, and apparently the highs have been like up to like 26. Some have been like up to 30, 32 Celsius, and that's very high. I think it was meant to be that high yesterday. I think it's that high now. I couldn't sleep last night. I couldn't almost sleep last night because it was just so hot. My room was the equivalent of living in an oven or a furnace, or living next to a pot kiln. Coincidentally, I live next to the heating, which is just right here. Right here. And that doesn't help either. Thankfully, it's not on now. I've checked the radio, it's not on now. No, it's not, no. Yep, they also say there could be another threat of rain. Could happen. What was that? What did I just see? Oh, right. Okay, then there it is. Yeah. Yeah, that threat of rain. Yeah, we won't worry about that. No one knows how it's gonna, you know. No one knows how it's gonna turn out and whatnot. But hey, you know. With the weather being a little bit indecisive. Well, actually, it's been decisive now. It's saying, no, I'm gonna say blue skies. I'm going to stay very hot and humid, and that's how I'm going to keep it. Probably noticed I probably got a bit of a tan. The camera's just overexposing one side of my face. Actually, with one photo I took on here with this damn webcam, I had to do a lot of skin coloration with the paint program. I took the paint program to its far limitation thresholds. I pushed it as the limitations of the paint program as far as I could go. Like, was able to create realistic skin color and all that, you know. It's amazing what limitations of these programs, but that's the fun of it, you know. It can push the envelope on these sort of things. Anyway, enough going on about that. Yes, you probably heard about the shootings in Colorado, the Dark Knight premiere, and especially that what I've watched in London, Leicester Square on YouTube, live streaming. It's been a big event. Yes, it's the end. This could be the end of an era. Christopher Nolan kind of left off with the third and final installment with The Dark Knight Rises, and that I like. Yep, that I like indeed. I mean, it's been a trilogy in the making. I've already watched. I'm watching it back to back, like watching the first two, like Batman Begins. I watched last night, and hopefully tonight I'll watch The Dark Knight before The Dark Knight Rises, in order to help make sense of Bruce Wayne's journey on his crusade to rid Gotham of crime once and for all. After the death of his parents, one of hoodlums who was probably under the influence of drink and drugs, desperation. Yeah, so it's kind of like carry on what legacy his father had left for him to do, and there've been so many different incarnations. Like, I got like the Batman Year One graphic novel, and the storyline along with that with the first Batman film by Tim Burton with Michael Keaton. Both those include, compared to the Christopher Nolan versions, differ from the different incarnations and versions of Batman, how he was portrayed and how he managed to tame. I mean, the League of Shadows, that was never ever included in the original earlier drafts of storylines that were based on the animated Batman TV series, or that of the Tim Burton or Paul Schumacher versions of the film. Well, Paul Schumacher just carried on the franchise. You know, it explained a little bit of why, but it was never fully originated to why or how he got his martial arts or trainer, or knew how the criminal element, you know, knew the psyche and the mindset of how the criminal element worked, you know, and how he used his fear and how he got a little bit of power to instill fear into the many other lives of criminals and so forth. And also the behavioural complexity. I mean, the Adam West version didn't go that far, and it didn't explain. Yes, it showed a lot of the It did show quite a lot of the Batcave, and also had Robin. But Robin in the Christopher Nolan visions, being Batman's psyche, is not featured. No. Nor is that of other arch nemesis like Poison Ivy. Featured in the last franchise, was never featured. Funny enough, Clayface was featured in the animated. Was featured in this sort of like animated TV version and film The Master Phantasm. Actually, The Master Phantasm, along with Batman Year 2 nemesis, the Grim Reaper or the Reaper, they were never featured. No, not in this Christopher Nolan version, because it would not have. Well, with special effects and then having to try and do realistic filming as approach slightly with Christopher Nolan's version, probably would not have been completely feasible with the story, because this is all focused on Bruce Wayne. if they, I can see why Warner Brothers want to do another franchise after that, because they're thinking, well, what about Clayface? What about portraying Poison Ivy a little bit? Well, we saw how Poison Ivy and Batman Robin came to be, so that was just about explained plausibly, where that other mad scientist just pushed her over a table of chemicals and test tubes over and all that, And that's what happened, That's how she came to be. But it was done in such a camp way, that was the problem. Done a bit like the Adam West version of old, but just... I'm not saying this is bad, but it's like, when Paul Schumacher decided to push it a little bit too far. Yes, it was done in sort of like camp. It was almost done in sort of like a camp pantomime way of things. Yeah, I suppose one could say it's done in a sort of like pantomime way. I think that's how he did it. Where it was done in a camp way back in the 60s. I think this way was done more pantomime-ish. So it became a bit. So with Batman and Robin, it became very pantomime-like, and I think that's what killed the franchise off. It started to feel like you would go to a children's pantomime, and that was not what was intended for Batman. And George Clooney, yes, he played a brilliant Bruce Wayne, no doubts about it, but he just, when it came to Batman, he couldn't bring out the more complex. I think that's what got lost, because it was meant to be about Bruce Wayne, and then I think the story slowly went away from Bruce Wayne. The focus went away from Bruce Wayne too much, and I think that's where Christopher Nolan's turned back the focus and attention. So, with Batman Begins was based slightly being on Batman Year One, where the other graphic novel, The Killing Joke, was slightly based on The Dark Knight Returns, because they always tried to, with the first Tim Burton Batman film, with Jack Nicholson, to explain his origins, but in this new version, being in this new version of the Joker, the Dark Knight's origins were never completely explained. Because to try and assume, we know where the origins of this character came from, I suppose, well, would be just about maybe not as plausible or feasible as we like to think, and plus would be assuming, well, actually, well, hang on, we don't even actually know anything about this guy at all. We don't know where he came from, we don't know if he was abused as a child, we don't know. And plus he could be making all sorts of bullshit stories, which he probably did. In the end, he was just a guy who appeared out of nowhere who wants to see the world burn. You know what I mean? So, in a way, it kind of like got all a bit it got crazy, and Heath Ledger, like that, Christian Bale, many method actors get deep into their character, but I think for Heath Ledger, maybe a little bit more, twice as deep than Christian Bale, to such an extent that they had trouble sleeping, OD'd on a few pills, and yeah, it's a tragic shame, really, with such young talented actors like him, and that of River Phoenix, and many others before them, just almost kind of like push the self-destruct button. They're getting too deep. Sorry, I know I shouldn't be rocking back and forth too much. That can get a bit pet peeve for people after a while. But yeah, going back to the point of where the focus is, why it's a shame we lose such wonderful actors like that of Heath Ledger. Yeah, I know some out there probably still mourning a little bit sad that Heath Ledger is no longer with us and they can't be here to see the Dark Knight Rises. Tell truth, I don't know if he died during production or after. It might have been during, where they got another actor with similar build, similar facial structure, or like they did with Oliver Reed when Ridley Scott was doing Gladiator, just kind of like digitally superimpose his face on another. It can be done, it can be done. I think that may just about be the case, unless they avoided using CGI and just used the same mask but with a different actor with a similar facial feature, and just using a lot of prosthetics and just saying, we want you to just do what Heath Ledger. Don't change anything, That I'm not saying that might have been the case, but in some extremes, you want to work with actor, and then all of a sudden they're not there because this so and so happened to them. So you have to bring in another actor, or even a stunt actor, even with similar to fill in for that, to act like a stand-in at the last minute. It can happen. In some cases, they'll use a combination of both the stuntman and stand-in actor to kind of like just fill in the gaps. And with the prosthetics or maybe CGI to make it look like it's Heath, but it's not Heath. Well, I could be wrong. Prove me wrong. But in some cases in Hollywood, that can happen. Well, if you're going to get a movie done on budget, time, schedule, and sometimes some directors, some filmmakers are going to have to use all the every tool in the book to their disposal. So there you go. God, I've been talking for a long while, haven't I? And my God, it's still a sunny day, so I don't want to stay any longer, and it's getting too hot for me to continue talking, as I'm going to go for a cool shower. So I think I'll call a day on this one, and hope you enjoyed my latest vlog. And oh yeah, Prison of Drama was also there. There's been loads of conspiracy theories about the guy that maybe was under the influence of mind control and drugs. Don't take my word for it. This is why I hear on websites like Alex Jones and his channel on YouTube and whatnot, and all conspiracy theorists trying to just figure out why he was so drugged in court. And plus, my condolences go to all the families involved with the shooting. I'm very sorry for their loss. No, seriously, really, I am. You know, it's not nice. I know what it's like to lose a loved one, because, you know, I lost my mum in, well, different but similar circumstances. So I know what that's like. And no, conspiracy theories about this guy shouldn't be an excuse to try and make everyone feel better, no. Well, I mean, I'm just an observer. You know, I'm not trying to be on any, I'm not trying to say, oh, I'm on the side of this or that, or anything like that, or I'm just merely observing at the end of the day, you know. Well, my dad always said I was an observer, so best to remain at that. Because sometimes these things can get a little bit too heated politically, debate, explode into something else, as it were. You know what I mean? Yeah. Yeah, I think it's probably best to call it a day. Just say, hey, you know, I think a lot has happened with me recently. Until the next update, ciao ciao, for now. Boy, boy.